I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out.
Here's my resume.
But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. National Racing Network, proud to be bringing you live coverage of Championship Night for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship qualifications already getting underway. My name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth by Mr. James Watson. And, well, tonight we're going to have a smorgasbord of people hanging out with us. In addition to James, we also have Sebastian Kinder joining us. Plus, hello. In addition, Kylo Ciacelli will be in-race reporter for us as well here. This one is going to be some kind of a show. I'm not sure what kind that exactly is going to be, but I'll tell you what, James, we're going to come to you first here as the guy who spent the whole season with us. Man alive, brother. This is kind of everything we hope to see in a season finale. 39 points separating Graham Sanders from John Bedifer for the championship.
Yeah, this is a perfect course to end the season on. We got everything. We got long straights. We got tight corners. It's not going to be a super draft fest. You're going to have a lot of driving and the car working really good. And so, yeah, we're going to be in for a show. And we have still several people still involved because you got the two Giudessa guys. I think Porcelli is still within striking distance. Like, we're far from seeing this championship wrapped up.
Yes, I would agree with you here. And let's bring in Kylo Ciacelli, who is currently on his qualifying lap, making his way through the boot section of the racetrack right now. At least I think he is. No, actually. Just working his way into turn 11 here. Kylo, what are you thinking here as you get ready to set a hot lap?
Well, I'm getting ready to go fast, Chris. That's what it's about, down in the braking into turn 1 here. So we'll see how this lap goes. We'll see where I can end up on the grid.
All right, Seb, you're the fun guy here. You're bringing the noise and the action to this one. The IP2K car at Watkins Glen, to me, is very reminiscent of how the car drives at Spa. There's a lot of long straightaways, a lot of chance for you to utilize the draft to make time up on the racetrack. You might lose a little bit. Really a lot of places for not only tight racing, but quite frankly, just dumb mistakes to happen.
You know, your comparison with Spa is spot on. You have a small front stretch, then you have like a big ass acceleration zone where like you're going fast, and then you have a more technical part that follows the rest of the track. So yeah, your comparison to Spa is spot on, and that track will test both the machines and the drivers, and this is why it's one of the best tracks for the IP2K.
Laps starting to come in here as we're halfway through the qualification session. Graham Sanders going to be to the top of the board, 1 minute 39.821. Everett Paddock, second quick, 139.910. 140 flat for John Bedifer. That will put teammates nose to tail instead of alongside each other as we make the run down to turn 1. And James, this is not the Watkins Glen of old. You can't attack the curbs through the bus stop like we just saw Graham Sanders was doing, and turn 1 is a completely different animal.
Yeah, the curbing is ridiculous on some cars. These included. You have to be so much more careful going into the first part of the bus stop. You kind of have to ginger around it and kind of clip the farthest part of it. If you try to just clobber it like you used to, you're going to go airborne, you're going to land, and yeah, these things don't land well. And you have to be careful on how much curb you take into turn 1 as well, because you could easily upset the car. Not as bad as the bus stop curb, but definitely a curb you really don't want to smash.
Give some props here to our guy Kylo Ciacelli. Fifth quick with us yapping in his ear pretty incessantly. Not a
We're
bad
going
lap
faster,
time there,
Chris.
Kylo.
We're growing faster. We'll see what this one is.
Sir.
How about it? New quick time, top of the board. Everett Paddock moves to the top. John Bedifer, Graham Sanders, now Porcelli and Yoshikawa, the top 5.
Wow, Kylo, you were wrestling that thing. That was beautiful to watch.
We lost it in the last sector, but a good
Yeah,
lap nonetheless.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, so here's a quick question, because even though I'm a racer, I didn't race a lot of the new Watkins Glen. So before coming back on the old layout, so before the hill, which is that off-banking turn, you go wide. Is there a point to that? To go beneath the curves, or well, I lost my English, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a little bit different on the resurface now. There's a little bit of a bump on the inside there, so you don't want to be as tight. You can lose a little momentum. And going up the hill as well, you have to stay to the extreme right or left. If you are in the middle of the track, it's a little bit of a rise, and you lose some top speed. So you got to stay to the extremes on this new rescan here at Watkins Glen. Just another thing to do with the new version.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to have to really pay attention to over the course of the night here. And man, things are about to get very, very exciting here. Field is getting ready to grid up. We're working on So as I was saying, we are working on taking care of the little bit of an audio issue that we're hearing. At least I'm hearing it in my ear anyway. But Field is getting ready to go. Let's get ready to bring you tonight's starting lineup. Almost everybody out here on the grid. There we go. Everett Paddock will be your quick timer tonight. 1 minute 39.659 seconds. 2 1/1000ths back. John Badefer on the front row. Doing what he needs to do if he wants to win a championship here tonight. Badefer entering the night 39 points behind Graham Sanders. Sanders going to line up on the inside of row number 2 along with David Porcelli, Nagicio Shikawa, and Brian Labarge on row number 3. Kylo Ciacelli and Chris Preston on row 4. Benjamin Kopke and Russ Addy on the 5th row here this evening. Frankie D, James Galloway on row number 6. Row number 7 will have Greg LeBourd and Mike Holler. Row number 8, Rod Eskew and Mark Carpenter. Row 9, Mark Cooper and Matthew Gracie. 18 cars comprising half of the 36-car entry list for tonight's race. Kylo, talk us through a lap here a little bit as you guys get ready to roll.
Yeah, so coming down into turn 1, tricky braking zone now. You really have to hit the apex and stay on track with the new rescan. If you go over that curb, you can lose almost half a second of time by the end of the hill that we are now climbing. S's section flat out in this Indy Pro 2000 car, and all the way up to the top of the hill towards the bus stop we go. Tire prep also important on the pace lap here, making sure everything's as hot as it can be to get maximum grip into turn 1 and get a good run up the hill to possibly make up some positions. Going to be difficult to pass, so we're going to have to be aggressive on the start here if we want to move forward.
And that's really something that will come into play here over the course of the night, James. You got to take care of the equipment, but at the same time, there are so many great overtaking opportunities. You get out of the bus stop through the carousel, you're going to, instead of taking the kind of NASCAR loop and finishing the carousel, you bear off to the left and you head down into the boot. This really is a place that you can either gain or lose a ton of time.
Yeah, this is where it really sets the drivers apart, because you really have to wheel this thing around the boot. You're running so much less downforce, of course, with turn 1 through the S's, that you don't have a whole lot to rely on when you're down to the boot. So if you know how to extract the pace and the performance out of the car, it's really going to help you. Otherwise, yeah, you're not going to have too much fun through here.
We decided to have a Days of Thunder moment with the pace car.
Yes. I'll tell you what here, guys. I am really looking forward to this one. A championship is at stake. This is one of the trickiest corners in the entire iRacing service. It ends up tipping off camber a little bit as you get to the exit, but you have to absolutely nail it because these final two corners, turn 10, turn 11, set up the long run down the front straightaway, and it is just about go time here at Watkins Glen International. We are in for a big time show. Thank you everybody for tuning along with us, and as always, race fans, the start of this one is going to be all yours. One car going around early is going to be Brian Labarge. He spins out. We continue on as Britannic jumps out to the early lead for John Bedifer and Graham Sanders. Seeing the comments coming in, Kyle, yes, I know we're working on the audio issue here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but Mike McCullen, I thoroughly despise the adjustments to track limits here in the new scan. What are your thoughts on that here? James and Seb, we'll come to you guys. What are we thinking here in terms of, quite frankly, what they've done to this
The only track limits I think are really hard to deal with is out of one, but if you keep it mostly on the exit curve, you can get away with that without getting a 1x. You actually have a lot of runoff space coming out of the penultimate corner. So the track limits aren't that bad compared to dumpster fires that are Spa or Coda.
So, absolutely agree. Actually, yeah, this is a track that is very forgiving.
Top four still single file. Paddock, Bedifer, Sanders, and Porcelli. Let's take a look here and pick up where our in-race reporter is. Kylo Ciacelli currently running in the 5th position, just back of the race leaders. They're going to make the run down towards the boot. Here's Bedifer looking to the inside of Paddock, has to tuck back in line. Ooh, big swing wide there for Graham Sanders. Seeing the other comment here from Mike McCullen saying one of his favorite spots to photograph at the Glen is under a tree across from the exit of the boot. I know exactly where you're talking about, saying it's a great angle. You'll see it here as the race leaders turn their way up the hill, kind of right about here. Just makes for a fantastic angle to take pictures of race cars from, and you don't have a ton of junk in the way. Background's pretty clean, really fantastic, but how about it? Oh man, I thought Bedifer was going to make the big dive inside of Paddock there into turn 11.
That would have been ballsy, but better place to overtake.
Ballsy or dumb or a combination of the two? Take a look a little bit further back in the pack here. The other good battle that's developing on the racetrack right now. Nagisa Yoshikawa, Benjamin Kopke, Russ Addy, Frankie G, they're all going to be pretty close together. But man alive, this battle for the lead is intense. James, it's another continuation of what we've seen all season long.
Yeah, I think we're all accustomed to this show now, which is a lot better than it was just basically the Greg Seitz show. Now we see 4 to 5 cars just absolutely going toe to toe instead of just one. So this is a lot more fun to watch because you still don't know who's going to win out of the 4 of them.
Going on board here with Kylo Ciacelli as they make their way up the boot. They'll make the big swinging right-hander before you head back up the hill. Michael Joseph checking in on YouTube saying John might need to have Paddock between himself and Graham for the championship. Yeah, this is the big key is for Bannifer to get around Paddock, but then he needs Everett to not fall behind Graham Sanders. And you guys would know the structuring of iRacing's points a little bit more intimately than I do. Obviously, everything is based off of strength of field, which tonight, as expected, pretty insane. 35.50 for the strength of field number. Is one position, the difference between first and second, going to be enough for John Bannifer to possibly win this championship?
That's the thing about the iRacing point structure is there really is no structure. It fluctuates so much. Oh, that's not good.
Big moment for Graham Sanders. Wow.
And that might do it.
He didn't
and here
lose
comes
a spot
Porcelli.
yet, though. Porcelli down to the inside. He'll get the pass made. You wonder, is there a little bit of damage to that number 1 machine? Take a look at this one here on the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. Porcelli, big dive down into 6. Absolutely, Seb. Textbook. About the right way to call that one.
In the meantime, Kylo, I think you had a rough time for turn 1 last turn, buddy. Last lap.
Yeah, you guys weren't looking at me, were you? That was pretty rough.
Yeah, you actually kind of lost it, but keep going, buddy.
Well, I was looking behind me, and Chris was catching quickly, and I wanted to let him go, and he's caught back up to the leader, so I guess it worked, but I'm a little close to the guys behind for my liking right now. I've got to defend from Ben Nagisa.
Good luck, buddy.
Tell you what, that is a pretty darn good battle shaping up here between Ciacelli, Kylo Ciacelli, Addy. Kylo going from a nice, easy Thursday night drive to now having to fight some really pretty tough drivers here. Now, James, does your strategy change at all? As we've seen Graham Sanders getting around David Porcelli. Take a look at this one here on the instant replay. Does the thought process change with John Bannifer knowing that Graham is now fighting other drivers? Wow, big ramp off there for Porcelli.
Yeah,
Lord.
He had wings. No, I'm pretty sure the strategy is just get into a line and push like hell and hope you can catch the top two, because at this rate, neither of them is winning the championship. This might be John's to lose, because he can kind of putt around and not have to worry about it. And they are just outside the draft range, so it's tense times for Graham and David.
Yeah, we can't forget David Porcelli here. He was only 102 points back. That's a makeable number if some of these drivers have issues. Oh, man. Big moment back there for Porcelli. But he's going to swing out and get around Graham Sanders. That was impressive into the bus stop.
Meanwhile, Kylo, that must have been showing your rearview mirrors. Like, I think they were free right behind you.
So we're going to show you the battle for first and second on the left-hand side of your screen. The battle for third, fourth, and fifth on the right-hand side. Because all of this has championship implications and down to 13 laps to go in the season.
Oh, I see a meatball from Mark Cooper.
Yeah, he's been chilling in the pits for a while now.
Yeah, he's had a couple of issues. But Mike McCullen, IndyCar needs to come back to the Glen so we can see these things tearing around as an RTI round. I agree. Watkins Glen is too great of a race course to not have on the schedule. As we see Sanders back around Porcelli. Now, James, you mentioned being out of draft range. If I remember correctly, a week or so ago at the Indianapolis, a couple of weeks ago at Indianapolis, we were talking about that range being 1.3, 1.4 seconds. That gap is now down to 1.2. Are we going to see Sanders, Porcelli, and maybe even Chris Preston become big-time players in this race?
I believe so, because the draft range was a little different at Indianapolis, because with the length of the last corner and the straightaways, you were topping out like well before you were on the main straightaway again. Here, you're not really having to worry about that, so you have more speed to play with, if that makes sense. So I believe if they can keep on this pace, I think they're another lap or two from finally getting back in the draft room, which is highly impressive.
Yes, second lap in a row, I see Porcelli going over the curb and just staying on the left. And yeah, I don't think like Sanders and Porcelli are as comfortable with the machine as Paddock and Bettifer are. I mean, I say that, but Sanders seems to have get back his gap.
Yeah, Sanders is there. That gap is now inside of 1 second. Porcelli sitting about 1.4 back of the race leaders. He's only a half second back of Sanders in third, so he has not lost the draft. Porcelli going to be right there as well. Little bit of a different story, though, for Chris Preston. He's about 2.25 seconds back of Porcelli. I would imagine, though, at this point, John Bettifer is checking the relative, and he can see how close these guys are getting. He needs to move now if he wants to get around Everett Paddock.
And we saw, and James, we saw it like now he's trying to have looks down the few corners.
Yep, there. Cue the jostling.
Ooh, big hit. I think Sanders hit the wall. I think Sanders hit the wall.
It doesn't look, he's not driving like he did.
I was gonna
yeah,
say.
I mean,
Let's
we're back to a 4-horse race.
Go on board here with Graham Sanders as he's going to pull out a line just a little bit. Oh, he's making the move on Paddock.
My goodness.
Bettifer's Bradiford's through into the bus stop. Now Graham Sanders going to work on Everett Paddock. Michael Joseph checking into the comments. It's fine.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kylo, it seems like you're now in a bit of a no man's land here, buddy.
He's just vibing.
Let's take a look here. We'll bring Kylo Ciacelli on the side-by-side. Kylo, you've been able to open up the gap a little bit here to Nagisa, Russ, and Benjamin. Are you kind of in a ride-it-out mode here with 10 to go, or what are you thinking here, bud?
Man, I am sweating. These guys are pushing me to my limits right now. They're fighting behind and I'm still losing time to them, so I gotta run away while they're side by side.
Man, this battle is absolutely intense. John Badifer had pulled out a little bit of a gap. It's now disappeared. Everett Paddock back within a tenth. Badifer going to try to block off the line into the bus stop. I don't know that Paddock would have tried it there anyway. I'm really impressed. I didn't think you could use the bus stop as a passing opportunity anymore, purely because of how the curbs kind of launch you off of them. These guys are going absolutely balls out for this thing.
Yeah, it's a net up and ball out moment every time you go through the bus stop for these guys.
I mean, we have some of the best guys in the service right there, so I'm not so really surprised.
The battle on the right-hand side of your screen, Russ Audi, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Benjamin Kopke, Frankie D. All nose to tail. A little bit of a moment there for Everett Paddock. That's going to allow the gap to open back up. The frustrating part for me with the track limits and the reprofiling of the rescan, it has completely changed the ability to attack into turn one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think you can push as hard because you don't have the whole runoff uses at your disposal like you used to, but I kind of think in some ways it makes it a little better. Oh my god!
What a pass by Everett
Wow.
Paddock!
Oh.
That is. Oh, and I think Sanders may. Okay, so let's see. Willie dying bomb. Oh, come on. Come on, Sanders. Go for it.
Seb just here rooting for just carnage. Mark Cooper checking into the comments saying these guys are so fast. That's part of what I think is so intriguing about this. We're seeing laps 139, 140. I mean, it's not that crazy far off of their qualifying times. Best lap of the race for Everett Paddock, a 140.3. Qualifying lap, 139.7. This is truly sprint racing at its absolute finest. They're turning qualifying laps lap after lap here.
And Porcelli just did a maneuver. I don't think we see this often on this track. He went around the outside of Sanders in turn 8. That's wow.
David Porcelli's fastest lap of the race is actually faster than what he qualified at. Same is true for Graham Sanders. He qualified at a 139.8. 139.6 is the quick lap time for Graham Sanders. This is absolute insanity here that these guys are going to do this lap after lap. And James, could we have wanted it? Oh, hold on. We're 3 wide heading for the bus stop.
Oh my goodness.
Nagisa Yoshikawa backs out
These guys.
wisely. That was insane. But James, as we flip the side-by-sides back here, James, would we have wanted anything else but these 4 guys going toe-to-toe for any monster race distance?
Nope. It would not feel right if it wasn't these 4 just beating the living hell out of each other for 18 laps.
Here's how tight this points battle has been this season between Graham Sanders and John Badefer. 21 starts for Sanders, 16 top 5s to go with 10 wins in those 21 starts. John Badefer, 25 starts, 17 top 5s, 10 wins. The numbers are absolutely insane. The only really big difference is Graham Sanders has only led 135 laps this season compared to John Badefer's 438.
Yeah, that's the thing. He knows how to just kind of stay right there and pounce when you
this is so not a good idea.
Oh, they're free wide!
Porcelli's up the gut into the bus stop!
Move! Oh my God!
Sanders is off the racetrack! Back on, holds onto it. Good Lord!
Watch!
What the
My brain can't comprehend what just happened. And none of them crashed!
No. Okay. Can we put this moment into Hall of Fame, please?
Hold up.
Please.
Yes, let's watch this one again on the instant replay.
Insane.
3 cars and literally 3 cars wide. Porcelli ramps off the first curb. Oh my goodness.
You know, it just speaks volumes to the Team Watson Racing setup in that car that he's able to be that fast despite having balls that big and that heavy.
Of course, they're going to advertise our setups. Of course. I mean, that's a good maneuver there.
Team Watson Racing in P5 and 6 as well. Don't count us out yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the rate that they're going, I would not be surprised to see.
Or Long Beach on our hands, boys. Hold on to it.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this ends up Chris Preston, Kylo Ciacelli 1-2. This could easily happen with what we're watching.
Porcelli and Badefer are going to be side by side out of turn 4 and down towards the bus stop.
Oh, Porcelli and Fruit
easily clears there.
This is a game of chess.
And again, same kind of thing we saw before. Badefer opened up a little bit of a gap. Porcelli's going to be able to hang with him. The question now is, what do we see out of Everett Paddock and Graham Sanders? Sanders has to get a move on now. Badefer has the lead. Sanders back and forth. That may be enough to decide a championship.
Yeah, first they gotta catch back up. They're starting to get in the no-no area.
He's trying. That's the same move. The same move he did on Sanders.
Wow.
My God.
It's the exact same move he did on Sanders earlier.
You know what? I love the thought process. Because if you make the pass out of 8, if you can get it to stick, 9, they basically have to give the spot back to you.
Yes.
You can't really fight outside of turn 9. You're just asking for the car to loop around there.
Yeah, I have no idea how he's able to pull off these moves. Just incredible.
Uh-oh, I think Ben just went around in the last corner.
Yep, Benjamin Kopke
getting
in the final corner.
We're doing this again, aren't we?
We're still sideways.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. Great pass by Sanders into the bus stop. Here comes Betafer. Paddock and Betafer battling now for the race lead through the carousel. Mike McCullen saying that was the definition of confused Watson French noises. Yes. So now Betafer back to the race lead. Paddock runs second. Sanders Ciacelli the top 4. And we still get 3 more laps of this.
Oh, I'm loving
No,
this.
guys, something happened to David. He's dropped down to 4th again.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
this is what happened.
Nothing
Shenanigans on the front, on the stretch.
Yeah.
It's there's still nose to tail.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
This is going to be interesting to see what David does, because he's basically got it all to do now, being back at the tail of the line with only 3 to go.
Yeah, Mike McCullough's checking in saying this isn't going to keep working. Bad things are bound to happen. There's only so many times you can be that close and not have netcode get in the way, or some of the stupid things we see in sim racing, let alone just human drivers making a mistake.
Like, James, if that was me instead of a Paddock, I would have already been netcoded twice.
Yeah, there would be carbon fiber. Although, to be fair, Everett's connection isn't always the best either.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him blink a few times. I mean, I'm the one to talk when it comes to blinking.
I can't wait to take photos of this race, because there is so much airtime through the bus stop in these cars. The pictures are going to look spectacular.
It's music about believing you can fly.
Yeah. So we'll reset the field again as they're halfway through the boot with 3 to go. Paddock, Betafer, Sanders, Ciacelli, the top 4. Preston, Ciacelli, Addy, Yoshikawa, Carpenter, and Kopke, your top 10. There's a couple of decent battles in the very back of the pack. We're not taking our eyes off of this one. Go on board here with Graham Sanders into turn 11.
Now we're back to square one. Ooh.
And I'll tell you what, this really does kind of force Graham Sanders' hand a little bit. I don't know that second is enough to get the championship for Betafer. Sanders having the peak. They're going to be side by side into the bus stop. Oh, man. How are these guys not making contact there?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to hold a car like this. That's wizardry. Yeah, Betafer actually got screwed in that stretch. Like, he was alone while Ciacelli, both Ciacelli, Sanders, and Paddock were in the draft train. Nothing could have done.
Now, if you're Sanders and Betafer, Sanders back up to the second position. Do you almost hesitate to make another move late here, or do you want to be second with 1 to go?
I kind of think you want to be third. We've seen the third place car make some really good moves that somehow stuck.
That third place driver will be John Betafer off of turn 11. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go in 2022 Season 2 for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship.
Oh,
man, this is going to be a monster run.
I think I'm going to sit by lines of 2s, maybe. Oh, he's going for it.
Sanders has the look on Paddock. Paddock wiggles.
Oh, there's contact!
There's contact!
There's more contact!
In the wall. Betafer and Paddock wreck. Porcelli gets ahead of Sanders.
Are you kidding me?
What in the world was that?
Paddock and Betafer both have to tow. They will finish 15th and 16th.
Wow.
What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys?
Is this a championship-winning drive for David Porcelli?
Have you ever?
No, I've never.
I just does not compute. Like, Sanders went for the move and tangles happened and boom, 2 cars in the wall, and there's going to be some hot. Ooh, watch out, David. Don't do a Mansell on us.
David Porcelli off the final corner. Twin checkers are in the air. Over the line, David Porcelli wins at Watkins Glen. Graham Sanders will come home second. Chris Preston third. Kylo Ciacelli will come across the line fourth.
Well done, Kylo.
Well, yeah, great drive with us idiots screaming in your ear for 40 minutes.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, respect, buddy.
I think that gives me the Division 2 championship as well with these points I'm going to get. So.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's take a look here. Yes, it will, because Carl Lemkool was not in tonight's race, had an internet outage, and could not participate. So congratulations, Kylo Ciacelli, your Division 2 champion for the Indy Pro 2000 championship. Now we have the long wait. What are the points numbers going to do?
So 3 Team Austin Racing drivers in the top 5. Hashtag domination.
You'll love to see it.
You love to see it.
David Porcelli, your race winner, coming around on the cool-down lap. My goodness, that was absolutely insane.
That was a beautiful dumpster fire of a race.
Dumpster fire. No, it was much better than that. It was amazing.
Let's take a look as your race winner burns them down. See what happened here coming out of the bus stop. Betafer got a great run as Paddock got loose. And quite frankly, there was nowhere for either one of those guys to go.
You hate to see it.
Man.
But it
yeah, and
like...
I think, because I don't think Graham got any damage in it, but he had to cut the final part of the bus stop up to make it through, and I think that gave him a slowdown.
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And feverishly hitting refresh on the points website here.
Oh my god! How did Porcelli not destroy? I think that could save Porcelli because he should have been in that.
Yeah, I thought he was destroyed, and then he like ninja phased through like magic. Like,
let's take
better
a look at that
right front
incident.
is in the car. It's in the car, in the side pods.
This is the onboard with David Porcelli, airborne at the entrance to the bus stop. Huge run up the middle. He did get a little bit of contact.
The netcode gods were very kind to David.
That was what I think the weaving was later in the lap, trying to figure out if the car was going to turn right. Man alive, that was insane. bring in our race winner here tonight, Mr. David Porcelli. Oh my goodness. Before we get to the last lap, we'll cover the 17 prior in one question. How did you guys, the four of you, not wad up everything earlier than the incident happened? And how much fun was that to be battling like that for 17, 18 laps?
Oh my lord, what a race. And it was hard work too, because I had a lot more wing than the guys in front of me, so that it wasn't going to happen on a straight for me, which just upped the level of difficulty. And I realized the first time I took the lead, I was able to do that by just positioning myself. How do I explain this? So there's a crown in the road down that main straight, and the cars bottom out, and they lose a ton of speed. So if you pop on someone to make a pass down the inside into that high-speed chicane, you just lose all of your momentum, and you actually start to fall back. So I was able to position myself in such a manner that I forget who's on the inside of me, but they were on that crown, and it totally blew their run, and then I had the inside line on Everett into that chicane. So I knew I was going to have to get inventive. I did not expect a big wreck there at the end, but I knew I just had to be in it, and I might have an opportunity at the win. I had so much pace on the second half of the track, so I was going to do what I could into those hairpins if I didn't get it the way that I did.
Interesting is the way you're going to call going 3 wide into the bus stop at Watkins Glen. I'll take it. Man alive, that race was absolutely insane. We are over here feverishly refreshing the points page to see how all of this is going to shake out. One way or another, absolutely incredible season for you, David. You're going to be top 3 in points regardless at the end of this. Tell us about the whole season long. You were probably the most consistent driver we had in the series all season. Seemed like everybody had issues at some point in one of the SOF races, though.
That was my objective this season, so thank you for noticing that. And I'm just going to try and do my best to continue that consistency into next season. I think I had a sort of slow start to the year, and that put me at a disadvantage, but I did everything I could to make up for it, and grabbed a couple of these wins at the end of the season, like I did 2 seasons ago. And this is just so much fun, so I can't wait to see you guys next season.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And man, let's bring in let's see, our runner-up finisher here tonight, Mr. Graham Sanders. And Graham, talk us through what you saw there on that white flag lap. Craziness, insanity, everything kind of overload.
Carnage, that's what I saw. No, that was I saw it coming, not the wreck, but something happening on the last lap, because this is Watkins. That's really the only place you can pass around here. I was a little bit far back, but I wanted to at least kind of stick my nose in there just to kind of throw off Everett a little bit. Unfortunately, he went across that second curb. I got front wing damage, and it took out John in the process. But yeah, that was a chaotic race.
Chaotic is probably one word you could use. I asked the same question of David, but how much fun is that when you had 4 guys, and especially you, John, and David, who were battling for a championship, absolutely clean for 17 laps, trading the lead. You're going from first to fourth and everywhere in between. That had to be a blast driving that car tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that's not really fun is kind of just staying in line, which most of the race was like that. After a while, someone's going to get bored and want to kind of spice things up. But yeah, that was a blast. Really, really stressful, but a good kind of stressful. It was fun.
Well, we're waiting to see what the official numbers are going to look like. The championship, I think, should be yours, based on the fact that you had about 100-point lead on David heading into tonight's race. What does that mean for you and the whole Geodesic team? You guys put a lot of effort into this series, and quite frankly, you've spiced things up a lot from when we took over the broadcasts a few seasons ago. But definitely a team effort all the way around.
Yeah, for sure. I think our goal in the future, we want to try and bring more teammates in. We've obviously had Michael, we've had Carlos and Miguel here and there over the last 2 seasons, but I think trying to get some more attention to this series, I think is really gonna build a bright future for this car and for this series and this broadcast, of course.
Well, we have the updated numbers here, and the totals are 1668 to 1621. Congratulations on an overall championship in the Indy Pro 2000 series. That's got to mean a lot to you with how deep these fields are.
Yeah, that's really awesome. What I didn't really win it the way I wanted to. I would have loved to see us all 4 get to the line, but we saw John in the wall, so it's a little bittersweet.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again, and before we let you go here, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to thank the team, all the sponsors, Alpine Stars, GoPro, GSI, Wave Italy, John, of course, for being a phenomenal teammate all season long, and of course you guys for the awesome broadcast.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that, and let's bring in Chris Preston, our 3rd place finisher here tonight. And Chris, your teammate Kylo finished 1 spot behind you while sitting in the broadcast with us. I would not want to do that. I am assuming you're grateful that you didn't have to deal with that as well. At one point, we heard Kylo chiming in that this could be a Team Watson 1, 2, 3 with Porcelli, Preston, and Ciacelli. What was going through your head when you got to the bus stop and saw all hell breaking loose in front of you?
Honestly, all race, I knew it had to happen. Being about 2.5, 3 seconds behind them for most of the race, watching them go 4 wide, 3 wide into the bus stop, their luck was bound to run out at some point. So I knew I just had to keep my head down, keep going, and just like at Road America, my chances will come.
What's that like when you're trying to drive the car and perform at your best, at your optimal, while knowing that maybe your best strategy is to hold back a little bit? That has to be a little bit difficult, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure, especially with them battling, you know, the deltas were all over the place. I'd be 2.5 back and then 4 seconds back and then back to 3 seconds and all over. So I wasn't sure if I was going to catch them at some point, but I realized after the race I had the wrong setup on. So with that parachute of a rear wing, I don't think I was going to get by them.
That sucks. You absolutely hate to hear that. We've actually not the first time this week even we've heard that. But man, I'll tell you what.
I figured it out on the first lap, so at least knowing that, I knew I had a good run on people out of the carousel, so I was using that to my advantage, but that's really all I had.
Well, I tell you what, bud, it was a hell of a show you guys put on for us tonight. Thank you very much for showing up week in and week out. We really appreciate it. And before we let you out of here, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for one, I got to thank Team Watson Racing. You know, we had an unbelievable season. That last race showed. David and Nagisa were putting out great setups for me every week and making us competitive. I got to thank Limo Boys Racing and my teammate in here, Kylo Ciacelli. We'll ignore the fact that he spun in front of me and almost killed us on lap 5. Yeah. It didn't happen, right?
Didn't happen.
And,
I was letting you through.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, I got to thank you guys for putting on this broadcast. It's been so much fun to be in these races the last few seasons, and I can't wait to be back next season.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much here. Absolutely love it that he gets to give his teammate crap on the air. Kylo, we will come to you first to round out the discussion here. What were your thoughts here? You were towards the front. You were battling a little bit further back. It seemed like there was, quite frankly, just a ton going on for you.
Man, I love racing in this car. I never know what I'm going to get every week. I always think I'm going to be struggling for P10, and then in the end of it, I get a top 4 out of it. So it's always a blast doing this. I wasn't going to do the race. I knew my championship was pretty much secured, but I'm glad I did because I had to outpace Russ there at the end. He was pretty quick. So that made it just that little bit better. But I think I'm going to take a season off. I really pushed myself this season, and then the summer months aren't going to be kind to me. So maybe we'll take a year off, and we'll be back in the fall. But still, nonetheless, super fun and super competitive series. Love it.
Yeah, this one was fun, and man, I'll tell you what, Seb, we'll come to you next. We heard all sorts of weird French noises coming out of you tonight. Excitement, astonishment, everything about it. This was the epitome of Indy Pro 2000 racing on iRacing.
I miss this. I miss this so much. I'm just in awe and admiration of those drivers, how they can race like this for 18 laps, and wow, like you guys have all my respect because of how you drive this car and all that. I can't do that, so yeah, those guys are truly amazing drivers.
And James, we'll wrap things up with you here. We saw from the very beginning of this season a lot of week in and week out issues for drivers that we wouldn't ordinarily think we would see issues out of. What it led to was a week 12 that truly mattered, and you don't see that in many iRacing championships. You don't see them decided by less than 100 points. This has to be nothing but just insane momentum for this series going forward.
Yeah, like the last few seasons, we've just seen like absolute bangers of championship hit battles. Like, you can't ask for much more. We're getting everything we want, everything we need. This is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it was an absolute blast, that is for sure. And we're looking forward to being back here for another season of Indy Pro 2000 Championship Racing. Got to get some I's dotted and T's crossed on that, but something tells me we'll be back. And man, I can't wait for the growth that we've seen, the development that our broadcasts have taken on. 2022 Season 2 has been pretty darn spectacular here for us at the National Racing Network as well. And things are only going to get cooler from here. Coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday afternoon, live real-world Spec Corvette Series racing coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. I can't wait. I am thoroughly excited to get those shows up on the air. We're right back at it again next week. The Fuel Premier Series on Monday night. Tuesday night, we should have the TNT Series back, I think. Wednesday night, the Sim Racers Club Premier Series is back. Thursday night, we get a little bit of quiet with it being Week 13 and the Ezra IndyCar Series taking the week off. But man alive, just so much cool stuff coming up here on NRN. You don't want to miss any of it. Mike McCullen putting up a lot of sports car content on the website. Can't forget Alex Gray handling our NASCAR coverage and Ben Carswell handling the IndyCar coverage. A lot of great dirt stuff coming as well from Mark Hackett, Burt Wojcik, Connor Allen. We've got a ton of stuff coming up there. Make sure you check it out at nationalracingnetwork.com. But until we see you again to kick things off for Indy Pro 2022 Season 3, I'm not sure how we're to Season 3 already. That boggles my mind.
Time goes fast.
Yes, that's putting it mildly. But we're not even halfway through the year yet. Anyway, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For James Watson, Sebastian Kinder, and Kylo Ciacelli, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate y'all. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.